G'day YouTube, Joby from Oz here. So today we're launching the new edition of the lacquer flycatcher out in the garden today with a nice charcoal hammer tone finish. So let's see how many flies we can catch, eh? This is the next coat in preparation for more work on the lathe. So in preparation for doing a little bit more work on the beast, I actually made myself some floor space. So I'll pull the lathe out of there so I can get to the back side and do all the work on the motor mounting. So yeah, next really is mounting the motor up, reassembling the headstock and all the gears inside the headstock, tossing up whether or not to paint it. At this stage I think probably not, just because I'd rather be cutting chips than painting a machine. Alrighty. Further to that, we've been working on some chucks. This is the workbench here, where we've got the Pratt Burnerd 3-jaw chuck in pieces at the moment. Doing a bit of de-rust and a bit of cleaning and servicing. Motor mount for the lathe, ready to be cleaned and painted. I'm thinking to do an adjustment of the way this is hanging from standard because of the bigger motor I've got. And of course, that quaint little 3-jaw rotary table that I've got there as well, just getting that all cleaned up. Up the back we've got some DRO scales, which I'm planning to put at least one on the cross feed of the lathe, possibly the other on the length. We'll see how we go there, and yeah, just more cleaning up as we go. I'll bring you back later. So I'm working on the Pratt Burnerd 3-jaw chuck at the moment, and in frame is the scroll for the 3-jaw chuck. Now it looks to have had some butchery in the past. I don't expect this is standard machining fare, so whether it's been overloaded or something just not right has happened to it. My plan is just to give it a bit of a dress down with a rotary stone in the Dremel to see if I can't take off some of the burrs, the sharp edges here. Yeah, on the bench we've got the rest of the components just being cleaned up, and on the lathe at the moment we have the backing plate, which is running very nicely, so there's no run out on the backing plate. It's a D14 cam lock. Bruce Witham helped me last week drilling the 3 mounting holes, so once the chuck is ready it'll be mounted onto that backing plate and it'll be ready to spin up on the AL960. Alright, so further progress on the Pratt Burnerd 3-jaw chuck. I've cleaned most of the metal pieces, my bolts, my screws, holding collars. Got my jaws set up so that they're nice and smooth. So they're nice and close on the tolerance there. Everything's dry. I've given it a thorough clean and then a wipe down with paper towel. The scroll, did a bit of just a clean up with the Dremel. There was a bit of burring and I don't know quite why, but yeah, just gave that a tidy up, so there's now no sharp edges or catching points in that. So the scroll should be in good enough condition to work, and wire brushed the underside of the gear and the back plate. I've just gone through, I've stoned the surface just to make sure it's all flat, to mate up with this side of the chuck. I've got some witness marks on the side of the chuck so I know which way around to reassemble. And now I guess the fun begins. I'm not really super sure what lubricant I should be using. Probably some sort of grease or something. Don't have any grease here, so I'm planning to just dob on a little bit of nickel anti-seize. It's a yeah, it's got nickel in it so that where the gears are meshing against the cogs, it should provide just a little bit of high pressure lubricant. This is a service rebuild, it's not a Stefan Gotteswinter level remachine or anything like that, so it'll get me up and running with the 3-jaw, and I'll do some tests on it and see where we sit before finally committing to any further work. The backing plate is all good, ready to go, and the second set of jaws is all good. The 3 bolts, I've sized those, checked them for the holes, and I've got about 4 mils clearance at the bottom of the holes. So I'll bring you back in with a bit of grease on the stuff. Thanks. Okay, so now the spiral is in place. It's quite tight on that grease, so it's probably not the best choice I could have made. The 3 drive cogs are in place. These half bearings are what stops them from falling out the back. So now that they're in place, 1, 2, 3, and we're ready to bring the 2 halves of the chuck back together again. So now we've got the 2 halves leftly positioned, and we'll just use some copper slip on these bolts, lubricate them up. Okay, now the bolts are in, and we'll start to tension it up. See how we go, if I can bring it in using variations on a theme. Trying to bring it down even. At this point, it's probably worth a try it, make sure it still turns, eh? Alright, so I skipped a little bit of jiggling around because it was making a horrible noise. Turns out it's just because it wasn't closed up. But she now turns lovely. So I'm just going to do a final torque up of all the bolts, and we'll see if we can fit the jaws in. Okay, so she's back together. Let's do a test fit of the jaws, eh? So we've got jaw number 1, jaw number 2, Now, that's the problem. Jaw number 1 is broken at the front. I did clean that up with the grinder. So let's go start. Jaw number 2. Jaw number 3. Jaw number 1. still not right in there. Oh well. Something must have caused the front of that jaw to break. I've got no idea what. Now that we're in locked in mode, it's running a lot better. Alright, let's put the back plate on and see if she's running true. Okay, so what we've got is a little bit of run out here on the chuck. Let's bring it in a bit further. So take the jaws in to clear the saddle. So we've got clearance to spin. So now I'm running on the first part of the chuck body. Just throwing about 1.5 thou there. And now bring it across onto the so we've got some run out of the backing plate now. Alright, final test, of course. The whole point of having a 3-jaw is to try to have things come in on center. So let's see. How that bar looks. Because really the center of the chuck is what's important, isn't it? Okay, so we've still got some run out there. That's about 4 thou. So I have a chuck. Don't know quite where the problem is. But we have a chuck. I don't actually have a hex key to suit these. It's the imperial size. My keys just don't go up big enough. So I'll take it off, I'll rotate and see what I can find in the way of a repeatable mark on the back plate, because that was running true before and it's now not. So it could be that there's a position we want to put the back plate in, and I'll mark that out, pin it to the headstock. But as far as the cleanup goes, we've now got a clean 3-jaw chuck, and progress continues. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you'd like more of these videos. Thanks guys.